Hola Bandidos, welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 3 of season 4. I hope you're well. Owl and I say hello. How have you been? Well, as you can see, I've been busy painting. I've started a new one. Oops, mirror reversed over there. The image appeared to me in one of my meditations, so I just go with the imagery and express it. And our last episode was last week, no? Yeah. And as I said last week, I was overheating internally, so I had inflammation, and I took the messages of my body. I listened to my body, who said, rest, drink lots of water, eat vegetables. That's precisely what I did for 1 week, and I feel so much better. So much better. I'm going to keep it up. And I'm surprised because, for example, I gave up coffee. I drank way too much coffee, and I realized it really irritates me and puts me. I'm already per se quite very sensitive. My nerves are very, very sensitive. So the coffee just blows it and puts me too much on edge. Then the water is crucial. I was also very dehydrated. I'm constantly drinking water now and feel it's like my entire body goes, ah. And vegetables, yeah, I've kind of organically become vegan and I'm enjoying it because I'm trying out all these amazing recipes and making my food look like a piece of art. I love it. So, all in all, it's been a restful and rejuvenating week. And I was told by the cards and by my guides that to slow down this month, that June was a month of healing, of integrating. There's always so much that happens all the time. And our brain, our conscious mind can only process so much. And some of it we then process through the unconscious while we sleep. But other times we just need a break, literally. Slow down, cut things out, unnecessary hassle and hustle, and go at a more organic pace. Literally just going within and listening, okay, what do you need? That's what I did, and I'm still going to do for June. And it makes me think there is a full moon in Sagittarius coming up on Monday. And from what I've heard, it is all about prioritizing. Has to do with slowing down as well, no? Prioritizing, cutting out everything non-essential and focusing on what really matters. I don't know about you guys, but I have difficulties. I find it challenging to say no to stuff, especially like projects and events, because maybe it's a bit of FOMO, but also because nowadays I want to say yes to life. And it's a fine line between saying yes to everything or saying yes to things and not missing out on opportunities, but also exhausting yourself and just going overboard with things. So yeah, my challenge is to say no to things that really maybe don't 100% resonate, or maybe do resonate, but maybe it's the wrong timing. Like last week, I'm still going to have that collaboration. I was planning to meet a friend to collaborate on a music project, and I was really eager to go, but my body was like, no, just rest. So really heeding those messages and trusting also that everything happens for a reason, and that giving 50% or 80% is just not, for me nowadays, it's just not okay anymore. I want to be 100%. And I know that if I'm aligned and trust for that exact moment, things flow much easier. I also had a friend who is a masseur, and I asked for a massage, and I really respected him when he said, look, I know, since it's you, I want to be 100%, and I want to let you know that I'm not 100%. I'm actually really exhausted. We can go ahead or we can postpone the appointment. And I said, no, let's postpone. I really respect you being so sincere, and I'd like you to be 100% because it's like a gift exchange, energy exchange. So I want to heed the same approach and make sure that I'm really 100%. So That when I say yes, it's also a hell yes and not a wishy-washy one. You know what I mean? And the full moon in Sagittarius is really asking us to prioritize. And it's hard because there's always so many things you want to do. I want to do so many projects, but I want to ask myself or be realistic. Like, Melanie, there's so many hours in a day. And there's certain tasks we can't skip, maintenance tasks, my rituals, my morning routines. So there's a certain creative window that we have. How do you want to spend that? Let's choose wisely. Let's choose that energy wisely. I mean, energy is our highest currency. Money and all that stuff, that's comes secondary. Our most important currency is energy. So where do we put that energy? How do we spend that energy? Where do we invest that energy? It's really important questions. And since I'm curious what the full moon brings us, I wanted to pull some cards from the Moonology deck. So let's do that now. I've already invoked my angel, spirit guides, even ancestors and spirit himself earlier. I pull a tarot card for myself in the morning always. So the portal is still open. So let's see what the full moon in Sagittarius has in store for us, for anyone who's watching, you and me. Vale? I'm curious. And it's crazy how, again, it's full moon. I remember it was just new moon in Gemini, which brought a lot of curious energy and a lot of opening or asking us to open up to new opportunities, perhaps. Did you do that? I did. I'm definitely meeting new people also. The soul tribe is continuously growing. Okay, one more time. Vale, ready? So, full moon in Sagittarius. What does it have to bring? Ooh. Okay, so the card pulled is balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So don't worry that I pulled this card. It's just a certain type of energy that is attached to the card, even though it's full moon in Sagittarius coming up. So we're being asked to balance spirituality and practicality. Makes complete sense to me. It's actually all that I'm trying to do nowadays. I don't want to live out of the head anymore. I'm tired of non-applied knowledge, of just accumulating and not applying things or living things or embodying things. And by things, I mean values and practices. So I've been ingesting so many YouTube videos. I've done so much research, and I feel I've gone through so many experiences that the conclusion for me is the actual importance of living it out. So of bringing things to the 3D, of manifesting in that sense, because an embodied spirituality immediately means that we are manifesting things. We are bringing things into this world, be it just our presence, our energy, or anything manifested, anything else manifested, be it a project, ideas, new ways of acting, new ways of being. All of that affects or makes us co-creators of our reality, no? So yeah, I don't want to be a hermit on some mountain, although it's totally fine. Whoever wants to do that, totally respect that. But personally, I don't want to isolate myself in that way from society. I want to collaborate. I want to be together with my soul tribe. I want to exchange gifts. I want to uplift by being present and by being part of a community. And that takes being practical, no? Applying things. So ask yourself, how can I balance my spirituality with my practicality in daily life? Are my habits conducive to being a vessel for my spirituality? And spirituality is such a laden word. I mean, we're all spiritual beings. It's all spirit. So maybe I prefer the term spirited. But, to kind of spirituality sometimes has this ego. Our ego likes to latch on to the term spirituality as well. But basically, for me, it's just ways of being and values that bring me in alignment with myself and spirit in me, and makes me a vessel for whatever the divine wants to express, or whatever the divine wants to manifest. You know, the will, thy will be done. I always say I surrender. I want my life to be devotional. You know, the ego, as much as I can, keep my ego in check and be a vessel for the divine, for whatever wants to be expressed. So let's see what the guidebook says, Male. Full moon in Pisces. Full moon in Pisces. Okay, there we go. Entonces, have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch with reality? I'm sometimes culpable de eso. If so, take this card as a sign that you need to pay attention, make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your question, and the solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act, for everyone's sake. Attune with the moon. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. So it's always this question of balance, no? I guess the ideal is to be as much as possible in touch, connected, but also constantly remember that we are here on the planet, 3D planet, out of flesh and bone, and that there's certain rules to the game on Earth, and that we are in relationship with ourselves, hopefully with the divine, with ourselves, and with those around us. Everything is a relationship, no? Everything consists of relationship, be it with your plants, with your family, with your friends. I mean, we're all interconnected. So let's try and remember that those relationships require nourishment. And nourishment, again, brings us down. It's not only nourishment from the divine, but literally presence for other people, presence for our plants here. What do they require? What kind of responsibilities are we asked to respond to and to act on? And I often tell myself, okay, we have we have responsibilities here on Earth that we need to face. Paperwork, for example. No? Bueno. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Answers will come. Yes. Again, this doesn't mean responsibilities, doesn't mean that we need to struggle. During one of my meditations, it also came to me that I should meditate more, to make it really a regular practice every day. And I've noticed now for the past 3 days, I've been doing it, half an hour morning meditation with binaural beats or certain frequencies. And it helps. It absolutely helps not only raise the vibration and go back into my body to breathing, but also to vocalize, express intentions or questions. I definitely want to live a more intentional life also, meaning I don't want to just react and float around to the 3D reality with a 3D reality. I want to co-create. I want to direct my life with intentions from my heart, be more intentional. Again, it comes back to how I use my energy, where I spend my energy. Is it rewarding? Is it satisfying? Does it fulfill me? And if I have a question, I release that to the universe, and I trust that the answer will come in divine timing. Sometimes immediately, sometimes a little bit later, as soon as I let go also. No? So additional meanings for the card. You're in a super romantic but not super realistic state. Who's that? Is anyone super romantic? I love romance, but yeah, again, balance. Follow your intuition, it won't let you down. We know that. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. Ooh. Well, I guess it depends what dream. You know, I've also surrendered so many of my goals and dreams that I thought I wanted to go towards, and then realized, well, maybe life has a different plan or different path or different dream, a bigger dream for me. So I just surrender it. I just surrender. The person you're inquiring about is a soulmate. Who's that? You know, Yun. Avoid substance abuse. All right. As I said, June is about healing. Healing, a lot of it has to do with detoxing physically, but also mentally. We know that thoughts, negative thoughts, create toxicity in our bodies that literally make us ill. But yeah, I've been detoxing also from anything acidic. So coffee, I love coffee. You know what? Nowadays, I open the coffee container and I just have a sniff to get the aroma, and it still wakes me up. I think there's been a study on that too. So I can't drink coffee, but I smell coffee. I love it. Coffee, meat, dairy. What else? Alcohol, tobacco. Sugar. Sugar is my last one. That stuff is highly addictive and I have a super sweet tooth. But hey, we still need to allow ourselves some pleasures, no? But I feel my experience over the past week is really that if I really listen to my body, I don't even crave those quote unquote toxic things or addictive things anymore. So try and go into your body, and I call my body he will tell you what he needs in this moment of time. It may change, you know. It doesn't mean like I'm never ever going to have a glass of wine anymore. But 80-20 rule maybe. Let's keep the alkaline levels higher than the acidic levels in the body and in the mind. The teaching. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon in Pisces symbolically marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever you pull this card, it's a time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous, I love the word numinous Piscean energies that have no borders. So feel your way now. Why I said no. Feeling, meaning going into the body, connecting to our intuition. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces, and soulmates now connect. It's also time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. Again, set your intentions, state your dreams, vocalize your dreams, say it, write it. Our spoken word and our written word is are very powerful, very powerful manifestation tools. So, and well, since we are asked to go deeper into our healing, and maybe there's another layer that's coming up and needs to be integrated and transmuted. It's never ending, not a process. Then we have to go into our emotions and our feelings. Don't block yourself. Don't block yourself with the root chakra. Let the energy go into your heart. Open your heart. You can ask Archangel Seraphiel, he's the ruler of the heart, to help you open your heart, to listen to your heart. Talking about relationships, you know, let's build a relationship with our heart, with our inner guidance. The heart is the biggest organ, energetically, but also physically. And it's where all the beauty happens. Let's remember that we're bridges between heaven and earth. We are divine bridges. And we are here to bring the divine into the material body, to raise the frequency of ourselves and of the planet. There's a huge shift happening now in consciousness, so it's really requiring us, it's really asking us to go into our feelings, to face the trauma, face ourselves, heal, not only cure, but really, really heal. And for that, we need to go into the heart. Vale? So, full moon in Sagittarius coming up. Let's make a list, be intentional with our priority list. I hope also the things you're going to focus on bring you joy, because joy is one of the higher frequencies, and even the divine is, we can communicate the divine when we're in a state of joy. So invite more joy into your life. Do things that you really love doing, that make you feel alive and bring you joy. And go into your emotions. Connect with yourself. And from the Enchanted map oracle cards, let's pull any more guidance for us. Yeah, whoever's watching, collective and moi. Let's see for the upcoming full moon in Sagittarius on Monday, the 14th of June. Oh my god, it's like what, we're almost halfway through the year, and summer solstice coming up on the 21st. That's insane. That's in 2 weeks. Vale. One more time. Ooh, it's a lot. Take the first one. So, any more guidance for us, whoever's watching, for full moon in Sagittarius? Thank you. Bueno. The card that came out is Education al revés. So I'll put it upright so you can see the image. There's a girl sitting with a book and a kind of fairy coming out of the book, and a heron. Is that a heron? And the moon in the corner looks a bit tempestuous by the sea. Y está al revés. So let's see what this brings. Well, for me already, before looking here, we're asked to go from the head into the heart, and to apply things. Remember, practical spirituality. So perhaps upright, it's all about feeding ourselves with knowledge, education, new ways of how to build new habits. But in the reverse, it's actually inviting us to not just keep it in our heads, to live it out. Exactly, to incorporate those practices and rituals into our daily life so we can embody those values. It comes down to having values also. It's a big one. A ver, 35, 35. Education. Can you see? Here. Life is filled with lessons. Be teachable. Reversed. Stubbornness and the desire to know it all and be right no matter what will not get you what you want. I'm culpable sometimes with that. I want to understand everything right here, right now, without going through the lesson and experiencing the lesson. So let's remember to bow to the mystery of life and the unfolding of the universe, that we don't need to have all the answers before making the first step into a new adventure. For example, if you're hesitating somewhere, if you're at an intersection of a decision, yes, gather some facts, check in with yourself, with your intuition, but also release, surrender, trust yourself that you're going to make the right decisions, that you don't need to know everything before it even happened. What? So, or could it be that you're afraid to be seen as someone who knows less than you're supposed to? Could you be flying through life by the seat of your pants, hoping no one will notice you're skimming the surface of things? Okay, so I guess this is inviting us to be humble again. Humble, to not stay in our heads, to not be caught in analysis paralysis, and to be humble, also to reach out to people and say, hey, actually, I don't quite get it 100%. Can you explain it better? Raise your hand and ask your question. Your question is valid. And we don't need to pretend to know or be someone that we're just not in that moment. It's totally fine. Yeah? And yes, are we skimming the surface of things? That brings us back to the full moon in Sagittarius. Are we so thinly spread that we're just skimming the surface of things and not profundizando, going deeper and really accomplishing the one or two tasks that really need our attention from the 10 things that we want to do? Are we prioritizing our energy? Life is filled with lessons, some bitter, some sweet. A strident lust for certainty will never bring you the wisdom you seek. Bueno, forget about certainty. That's again the ego, wanting to know everything, wanting to understand everything. Release that. Surrender, trust. Huh? Pretending to know more than you do won't make you wise. Again. Be assured that not knowing is a magical place to be. All manner of mysteries are revealed. Be open. It's okay not to know. There we go. So this place of uncertainty of not having all the answers also opens us to the field of all possibilities. Imagine if we knew everything exactly like in a linear fashion, that would concretize, make concrete out of the world. There's no room for magic there. There's no room for surprises. So I tell myself that also all the time. Man, you don't need to know everything. Just trust yourself. Take it day by day, día por día, ein Tag nach dem anderen. ¿Vale? Trust that you're supported, that you know everything that you need to know right now. And if there's something, there's always more coming to us, more knowledge, more lessons. If we don't understand them, don't fret, don't stay stuck in the mind. Ask the divine for answers, but also reach out to people if it has to do with something concrete, practical that you're not understanding. It's a sign of self-worth and self-respect if we reach out to others for support or clarification. You're totally allowed to. Tienes todo el derecho de preguntar. And often when we ask a question, many of us can benefit because maybe someone else had the same question but was too shy to ask it. Yeah. So let's remain students of life. Life is teaching us all the time, but it requires us to stay open and humble. Yeah. I also, when I communicate with my angels and invoke them with, a lot of respect, I also say, and please keep me humble. Keep me humble. It's importante. Venga? So, balance spirituality and practicality. Let's start bringing things into 3D. Let's continue our healing process. If nobody has told you that, you're doing so well. Yeah. Let's use June for slowing down, for looking back and looking at how far we've come. How far we've come over the past years. It's been a real struggle, no? But what beautiful treasures have we found along the way? Treasures inside. So, and now it's time to slow down, apply the lessons, and be humble and humble and open. Let's leave it at that. I'm rambling. Yeah, I hope you like my painting. Owl9 says, say hello. This was episode 3 of season 4 of Mel's Magic. I am Magic Mel. This is my channel. Please check out the other seasons. We have season 1, 2, 3 of Mel's Magic, and subscribe to my channel if you if you enjoy this. Hit the like button if you like my video, and share with friends and family. It really helps my channel grow. And I'm open to all kinds of comments and feedback in the comments box below. Just connect here, and I hope something resonated for you. What? So let's be intentional with the full moon in Sagittarius coming up. Let's make a priority list of where we're going to put our precious currency, our energy. Venga, con esto les mando un gran abrazo. Alles Gute, estén donde estén, y nos vemos para episodio 4 coming up very soon. Ciao, besos.